Hi guys, it's Madeline with My Vocal Journey, and today's episode is dedicated to the professional vocalist.
Yeah, waking up with you is like sunshine on a Saturday.
So for those of you that are already using your voice professionally, I have a few thoughts, musings, ideas, tips, tricks that I wanted to share because I've had quite a little twisted road of vocal development myself. The first thing is about softer singing. And 15 years ago in Brazil, when I was learning to sing bossa nova, I didn't realize that the softer singing was actually part of the reason that my voice was starting to tire, strain, and ultimately one of the factors that led to having nodes on my vocal cords. So if you're a softer singer, whether that means you're jazzy, you're a singer-songwriter, you're indie pop, it's one thing to think about, and you can look at your technique for that. The second thing to think about is we know that everybody has different voice types, and we know that some are more inclined to the very popular style right now, belting. And for some it does seem to come naturally. For most, I don't think it does, and they learn to do it. So what I would say is that when you're choosing your repertoire and you know that your voice is one that you have to be very conscious of the technique you're using to sing those kinds of tunes, you need to space those out throughout an evening. And it absolutely depends on how frequently you're singing, but you're going to wear yourself out very quickly if that's not where your voice wants to sit. And it often is at the very top of where someone's body voice wants to go, despite the fact that they're trying to mix. Thirdly, I wanted to talk about sort of your devotion to your warm-up and technique. And I am the absolute guilty party of this for years, really. I mean, I sang out and I knew I worked on my voice and I took voice lessons, but I didn't always warm up my voice before the gig. As we know, depending upon where the venue is, it's not always super convenient. You might feel embarrassed to do a louder vocal warm-up. Your car is great. If you have to use, pillows and towels in hotel rooms, you need to take care of your instrument. So having a tried and true warm-up that you use all the time, even if you get 5 minutes in, is crucial. And it also just kind of shows your own instrument, and I think the creative world, that you're taking seriously what you're doing and that you're showing up. And lastly, I kind of wanted to talk about prepping your music. And this is another area, I think, in which vocalists, singers can get bad raps. And I don't know if anybody resonates with this, but I've been in musical settings in which the other instrumental musicians don't seem to have quite as much respect for the vocalist because perhaps he or she doesn't know how to talk about the music theory in the same way that they do. But what we can be doing, singers, is absolutely taking our end of the job seriously, which is some songs that you just dive into, feel comfortable, and others, as we all know, do not. And that does not mean that you're not capable of singing the song. In fact, with very strong technique, your limitations for singing stretch tremendously. You can basically learn to sing just about anything that you want, but you have to strategize. And so I'll do a completely separate episode on it, but when you get into a piece that has challenging sections, as opposed to dismissing it or, hate to say it, crap shooting the song and just crossing your fingers and hoping that it works out that particular performance, you're going to be doing what any professional musician would do, which is chunking it down, understanding exactly what's coming up, and knowing in your mind and body I like to call it a choreography, because it really is a physical choreography that you're preparing yourself for. When you're getting to a section, let's say, with a melody that goes up, you have an ascending tone, and you've been doing vocal exercises, of course, that have a similar pattern. It doesn't matter if they're the same notes. You should know in your body whether you're doing okay, I'm bearing down, and when I get to that top note, that's when I pull in to give the rest of my breath and I'm sending it forward. And you can take words away from it. Do it on single vowels. Do just the breath choreography for a section. You know, if it's ah, you know, you could go shh with your breath work, or that was an open vowel, but if it were lyrics themselves, take the lyrics away, do it on a couple of different open vowels, and basically chunk your music down and memorize the physical choreography in the same way that you would memorize lyrics to deliver. So those are my 2 cents worth. I would love to hear from especially other professional vocalists about tips and tricks that you have that you think everyone should be thinking about. And please check out the blog. It's at myvocaljourney.com. I've got a lot of kind of fun and crazy musings, and I'd love to initiate a conversation with everyone. And thanks for watching again. Please subscribe, like, comment, and I'll see you soon.